Hi there, my name is AJay, and this is a lesson video in which I'm going to be showing you how to develop a regular classroom lesson using eCoreAcademy, a platform that my sister and fellow representative Anita Raj and I developed together. The links to our website and YouTube channel for eCoreAcademy are shown on this very slide. Let's start off by looking at the lesson plan and then breaking it down into further specifics. The lesson plan is based on one of our Biology 1 course videos, a course resembling a high school freshman honors biology class. The video is entitled Process of Science Part 1 of 3. The lesson plan involves a 30-minute video lesson during which students use the student's note sheet provided on the website to take any notes that they'd like. Afterwards, the student may need about 5 minutes to compare his or her answers with the master answer key. Lastly, the student may need 5 to 10 minutes to take the assessment before completing the lesson. The given note sheets are guided note sheets that the student can utilize, but there are specific sections so that the student can review certain topics that they would like to review that are specifically more difficult for them. This is the first lesson in the Biology 1 course. We recommend students watch the short introduction video before beginning this first lesson and the rest of the course alike. The lesson we are specifically discussing is about the scientific method, which is a concept first introduced in 6th grade, but revisited in 9th grade when this Biology 1 course is typically taught within high school. This lesson will cover the fundamentals of science that need to be understood before moving on with the course, as these concepts are needed when you conduct experiments that are integrated into the 6 units of biology. We investigate discovery science versus hypothesis-based science, cover the steps of the scientific method, and understand vocabulary, such as observations, qualitative and quantitative, hypotheses, inferences, variables, control groups, and many, many more terms to come. This is an immersive introduction on how to develop an experiment. The goals and objectives of this lesson are to introduce or review with the students the concepts of the scientific method and how experiments are developed. This will help them conduct laboratory experiments in class throughout the year if they understand how, as scientists, they're expected to hypothesize, identify variables, conduct correct procedures, make observations, and draw fact-based conclusions. We try to incorporate examples throughout this lesson and ask our students to get them to think critically and ask questions to get them to think critically overall. We also give them tips and tricks to remember vocabulary and the steps of the scientific method, just so that these terms become second nature to them. Our rationale is that this lesson is very immersive and meant to be an enriched experience. It is meant to compress what we would cover, what normal teachers and normal courses would cover multiple class periods in. We would essentially shorten this down into a shorter time span of half an hour. The video is meant to introduce newer information, review learned information, or clarify questions that students may have. And the teacher is another student who can connect with fellow students to deliver information effectively and relatably. According to standards correlation, New Jersey freshman biology classes will cover the scientific method. Below you can see the course handbook for our very own high school. The scientific method falls under the requirements of a freshman biology class. We teachers at eCoreAcademy based all of our course content off of these standards that we had to learn and follow when we took these classes in person. The following information comes straight from the course handbooks and curriculum guides from our high school that New Jersey educational standards follow. As you can see below, it is required in this biology course to cover engineering design, which means students need to know how to conduct experiments utilizing the scientific method. Below you will find requirements for the first biology unit, and students are required to develop an experiment on homeostasis using the scientific method. Lastly, below, you will find learning goals and scales for the first unit on macromolecules and the 5th unit of evolution. In both units, you will see that a student is deemed as having mastered the concept if the student can develop inferences on his or her own. We have some suggestions as to how a teacher can use eCoreAcademy and this lesson on the process of science. We suggest the teacher use this lesson if he or she, number 1, is absent from class but would still like students to learn the lesson that was originally planned for the day. Number 2, would like to reinforce material already taught in class that day by making the eCoreAcademy lesson homework or classwork. Or 3, is providing this lesson as optional extra help for an upcoming assessment. The teacher can assign this lesson to students in different mediums. We suggest that the number one best way is to is for teachers to directly use our website as well as students. The teachers and students can create their own free accounts using school provided emails so they can access all the lesson features such as quizzes, note sheets, etc. The teacher could also attach links for the lesson and PDFs for the notes on Google Classroom or self-guided Nearpod, just as an assisting e-learning technology within this given space. Students would then be able to download the notes to an app like Notability or print out the PDF, whichever one they preferred. They would use a blank student notes sheet to take notes along with the video. They are guided notes, of course. After completing the video, they could check with the master answer key. To reinforce learning, they can complete the short quiz and view answers. When finished with the lesson, they can mark it as completed and shrink it. This experience is meant to be user-friendly, smooth, and enjoyable overall. If the teachers or students have any questions at all, they can reach out via email or through our contact us tab on our website. They can email us at eCoreAcademy@gmail.com, the platform email, or utilize our website, eCoreAcademy.org, and utilize our contact us tab specifically if they have any questions or if they want to put up a frequently asked question. Thank you all for joining me.